Well, hi there, this is DBT, and alright, it's time to continue playing Asphalt 8 in my farewell to the multiplayer, the current multiplayer for this game before the new update drops, where things have changed. By the time this video is out, the update is already out, so this is already old news and all of that, but you know, I'm just spacing this video uploads. Alright, so in the previous, in the last two videos we looked at the B-class cars. Now we're gonna B-class, then we looked at A-class, and we're gonna be looking at a few more A-class cars and then to the S-class. So the one that I want to show you right now is this one, the Chevy Corvette ZR1. It's another car of those that I just happen to have enough resources to start upgrading it, and I got it pretty upgraded, so that's what we're gonna be using, and in reality it performs really well. So let me activate my boosters while we're over here, because the whole thing, if you've been watching the other videos, the whole thing is using these double credit boosters, because the credit gain in the new update is super low in multiplayer. So I decided to use, quote unquote, waste my boosters while the rewards were still good. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and that was the purpose of this whole series of videos. So again, just to remind you that the music that you hear in the background is some royalty music free that I found on YouTube. I'll probably leave a link in the description. But yes, all right. So the Corvette, I've never been too much into Corvettes, but again, this was another one of those cars that I got in some festivals. It was kind of easy to get cars in festivals. The difficult part about the festivals is upgrading the cars. So I did get the car, never cared about upgrading it. However, as I played more and more multiplayer, I ended up getting wild cards, which is, like the name says, a wild card to upgrade cars. So the type of wild cards that I had could only be used in a certain, like 5 different cars, out of which I only had one, which is this one. So I was like, well, might as well use them here. So little by little, I started upgrading this car. What I didn't expect is for it to be as good as it is. It's not a, like I was saying, not a class king, but it's a really good car. So when I started seeing the performance in multiplayer after I had been upgrading, it's like, oh damn, maybe I should have done this sooner. And to be completely fair, I do like the look of this car. You know, like I said, I've never been too much into this type of cars. I'm more into Lamborghinis, if you know me. But, you know, I did like the look of this car. The sound of the engine is pretty good. And again, if you know me, you know how much I like the engine sounds. So that matters to me. So yeah, overall, I'm really happy with this car. It has been performing fantastically. At least for the current iteration of multiplayer, which again, by the time this video is out, it's no longer a thing. So we're just celebrating over here while we still have this style of races. We'll see. Hopefully the new multiplayer will be good, will be enjoyable, will not be as bad as it is in Asphalt 9, but time will tell. Now for the other car that I wanted to show you is my beloved, I do have the Avaya over here, but I don't care about it, it's not upgraded, so whatever. And besides, it's electric, who cares? It's this beautiful thing, the 4GT. I was aiming for this car so hard for the longest time, and eventually I managed to get enough resources to buy it. And not only to buy it, I saved a lot of resources also to upgrade it. It took a really long time, a lot of resources, but I bought it, I upgraded it, and it's not fully maxed upgraded, but it's getting there. It's really up there. So it performs really well, and I just absolutely love this car. You may have noticed, maybe I'll link it over here if I can make the little thing appear in the top right corner of the screen. A link to the other video that I did as a tribute to this particular car, where I showed this car, the 4GT, in 5 different games. So check it out. Alright, so let's see how it performs. Again, I'm gonna be racing Bugattis, and you remember on the last video that I said these Bugattis are really damn strong. But, like I said also in that video, those Bugattis are not a class king. And this, the 4GT, it's the absolute class king of A class, or class A, whatever. It's the undisputed king. I mean, there's other cars that are give this car a run for its money, also in A class. And given how the multiplayer used to work, you would be matched not only against Class A cars, but also against S low tier S class cars. So basically the weak S tier classes, but at weak S class is still a really strong car. So anyway, so this car is not like, oh shit, okay, that's not good, that's not good. That's one way of keep on bragging and then lose the race. Jesus Christ. I don't know if I can come back from that. I'll be upset if I lose the one race I wanted to do with this car. I think I should be able to come back. I feel like I can catch up to that dude. But yeah, like I was saying, no car in this game, it's a guaranteed win. And you know, that's one thing that I've seen a lot of people ask in forums and Reddit or whatever. Is like, with what car can I always win? It's like, dude, there's no such thing. If there was such thing, everybody would be using that car, and by definition, then nobody would be always winning, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it's still a really strong car, and like I've said many times before, I don't just use cars because they're fantastic. Oh no, 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 oh Jesus. Well, at least I didn't wreck, but that was terrible. I don't use them just because of their performance, I do use them because I like them. So I like this car before I even knew it was that strong. So now that I know that it's that strong and I have it so upgraded, it's a good thing. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to catch up to this guy unless he does something really dumb like I did. It serves me well for being like, oh my god. And it's that same Bugatti that I was talking about earlier. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, ah, close. All right, even though I crashed, it was still this close. So that tells you how goddamn strong this car is. I mean, that guy wasn't boosted, but still, same difference. And you know what? Out of spite, I'm gonna do a second race with this car just because why not? I need to win a race with this thing. Alright, let's hope that I can win this one. Actually, that car, the first car that was shown on the screen, I think that was Rimac C2. That's an S-tier class. S-tier car. S-class car. You know what I'm saying. I think that's what it was. And actually, that used to be, I do have that car too. And I kept it around the rank that I have this car right now, the one that I'm using. And it performed really great. But you know, I eventually decided to move away from that rank for the Rimac, just because that car, the Rimac, can be incredibly good later on if you upgrade it further. So I thought I needed that more. And besides, I care much more about the 4GT in this rank than the Rimac. So there we go. All right, now that I'm driving a bit better, I haven't crashed my car so far, and see the crazy lead that I took. I think, I don't know if I didn't quite pay attention as to if I'm racing Bugattis in this particular race, at least the Chiron. No, not the Chiron, the Veyron. Because if I'm gonna race Chirons, because this game does have the Chiron and the Devo, if I'm to race a Chiron or a Devo, so this is awkward. I ran out of space while recording the video, so it interrupted, but you can see over here I'm just in the celebratory screens after I finished that same race, because I had noticed right away that I ran out of space. So yeah, I won with this car, by the way. If you were interested, I did win the race. You can see over here, of course I won. And yeah, I was right, it was a Rimac C2. Alright, cool, good to know. And so you see, it's an S-tier class, and it's slightly above my rank, so even if I didn't have the boosters, I would probably still have beaten it up, just because, like I was saying, a higher class, did I just burp? I think I did. A higher class, higher tier car, but that is not as upgraded as a lower tier that is almost fully upgraded, will not perform nearly as good. So yeah, there's that to keep in mind. Alright, so again, little awkward moment, but it's fine. Let's change vehicle. Let's move now into the S-tier class cars. And S-tier class, S-tier class, S-tier, whatever, you know what I mean. So, all right, let's have a look. What do we have? We have this Mercedes-Benz But honestly, it's not a great car. I just got it again in the Chinese New Year event that you could get pretty much all of these cars, the special cars. So that's fine, whatever. Don't care too much. And it doesn't perform all that well to begin with. Let's try the Evantra 1000 Cavalli. Now, this was the second car that I got the second or the first? No, it was the second car that I got in an event. Events, I'm talking the festivals in the game. Like I was saying, they give you a car for free, but the trick is upgrading the car. I was able to upgrade this car a little bit. It's not all that great, but it defends itself, so we can have some fun with this, probably, hopefully. So I'm just gonna go for one single race with this thing and then move on to the next one, because there's a bunch that I want to show over here. I should probably say that now that we're going into the S tier class. I keep saying tier and class. I should just pick one. S tier cars. These, of course, are the fastest cars, so they're the fastest races, but at the same time, that makes them the most unpredictable. It's weird. It can get really messy. So we have a couple. I think that was a Devo and a Chiron. We'll see how we do. I don't think I will be doing great, because here's the thing, though. By the time you are in this ranks with like this car the rank that I'm at right now, it's so close to the highest ranks of the cars that you're gonna be often matched, against the very best cars in the highest ranks. And really, the performance between an 1860, which is pretty much the max rank for the best cars, and an 1818, as I have this car, the performance difference, it's dramatic. But still, maybe if I can keep the second place, I will be happy. We'll see if it doesn't happen to be that I'm racing actually guys that are under my rank, but they just have better cars. Now, because like I said, this was, I think, my second S-class, S-tier car that I got in the game, thanks to the festival, so it didn't actually cost me anything. I didn't have to spend any credits or anything. I grew attached to this car a lot, and I actually do like it quite a bit. This is the 1000 Cavalli version of this car, because there's a non-1000 Cavalli in this game, which is a B-tier car. It's not as good, so I do like this one quite a bit. And the color, this weird green metallic color, it looks beautiful in this car. So yeah, I like it. Like I said, it doesn't perform like absolutely insanely, but you can see that it's not bad either by any means. In fact, the handling of this car is pretty cool, pretty good. Again, might not be the best, Jesus, but pretty damn serviceable. So right, I'll take it. Second place, not bad. Let's see what I was fighting. I mean, racing. A Bugatti Grand Sport Vitesse. Again, what I was saying, I'm an S-class, but he's an A-class, much more upgraded. So a Ford GT, Bugatti Devo, and a Chiron. All right, cool. And next up, let's go with the Valhalla. Aston Martin Valhalla. It's a cool car, but it has the problem that I think it's one of the worst issues to have in any car in this game. Very low nitro. But we'll see how it does. Well, this is gonna be a one-lap race, so it will be a quick one, which is okay because, like I said, this car doesn't have great nitro, but let's see what it can do. That red car over there, another one of those special edition, it's a really strong car, but much like the one that I'm using right now, it has terrible nitro, so there might be a bit of hope. However, by the speed at which they accelerated, I'm willing to say that they're in a much higher rank than my car. So we'll see. And since all of these are pretty much S-class cars, over here it doesn't apply what I was saying, that sometimes a car that is more upgraded, but this and that. Nah. Over here, since we're at the top of the food chain, basically, yeah, the better you have your car upgraded, the better it will do, period. No two ways around it. So yeah, this Valhalla is not bad. One thing that I don't like too much about this car is that you can barely hear the engine. I mean, you can hear it, but overall it's not even super loud. It's not that loud at all. And, you know, I like them vrooms, so that's the one thing I don't like about this car, although it looks gorgeous. I'll say that I like the looks of this car quite a bit. Oh, strange jump, okay. Oh, what happened? Okay, here we go. I'm like, I already crossed the finish line, but the race wasn't finishing. I guess I was a bit out of sync. It's fine, whatever. So yeah, an Audi e-tron. Oh no, look at that. Oh yes, yes. All right. So my car is extremely unupgraded. Like I said, A-class cars tend to be around the S-tier cars are around the 1800. I'm at 16 something because I barely upgraded this car. So I'm fighting or racing against all the cars like a really strong B. The e-tron that I was saying before, that it's really annoying. So yes, if your car isn't upgraded, you're gonna suffer, period. All right, let's use the Torino Design Super Sport. This was literally the very first car that I got for free in this game in the very first festival. So I am also attached to this car. It's another one that I don't have extremely upgraded, but it performs all right. So we'll see how it does. I know that the handling is pretty all right, so let's try one of these difficult tracks and see if it does well. Alright, well, we got into a really tricky track, but I don't know. I hope my Torino can perform alright. Again, being my very first, it was my first, not only my first free car that I got in the game, but also my first S-tier car. So yeah, I grew attached to it. But you can see by the speed, its maximum speed is not performing great. So I'm probably being matched against medium tier S cars, not S, A class cars. The nitro on this car isn't great, it isn't terrible, it's alright. The handling is quite okay. I do like the handling. It's not extremely sharp, but it's not sluggy either. So overall I would say that this is a pretty balanced car. But again, it's being a festival car, they're really hard to upgrade. Like I keep saying about the kits and the wild cars and all, it's tough. It's tough to upgrade this. So I did spend quite a few wild cards that I had laying around. You need golden wild cards to upgrade the S tier cars, and those cards, the wild cards, are difficult to get. So I just, for the time that I have been playing, I got a bunch of those cards, and now I regret spending them on this car. Not because I don't like this car, but because those same wild cards are the ones that I need in order to upgrade my Lamborghini Sienna. And since I do want to fully upgrade that car eventually, it's gonna take forever. So all those cards that I spent on this one would have been useful there. But oh well, what's done, it's done. The Lambo Sienna, I don't think I will be showing it to you in game because, like I said, it's barely upgraded, so it gets matched again like B class cars, even C class cars, and that's the example that I was putting in the very first video, that the Lamborghini Sienna, an S tier car at stock versus a fully upgraded C tier car, the C tier will win every time. So yeah, I don't think it's even worth showing. Alright, so next up, let's have a look at not the Asphalt Owl. I don't enjoy this car very much. It's barely upgraded too, so it's not worth it at all. The VXR Bailey. Alright, this is the car that I got from the Chinese New Year event, where I got all the other special edition cars too. Now this one I did upgrade, and actually I did like a lot the decal that this car has. Let's pick San Diego, because this car hopefully will get into San Diego and not Tokyo. So the thing about Tokyo is that it's a really long track with not a whole lot of nitro, and this car that I'm using has terrible nitro duration, so it's much better. It has terrible duration of nitro, but it has amazing handling. So it really works a lot better on tracks that are short and twisty, like this one precisely. So that's not to say that I'm good on this track, so there's a big possibility that I'm gonna mess up, but it's worth a try nonetheless. Oh, and that's a Centenario. I don't know what that is. In my car. Oh, I knocked him down. I wasn't trying to. Sorry, buddy. I really don't like knocking down other racers. Only when it's more like for revenge, I do enjoy that. But overall, I just like the more clean style of races. Jesus, I just crashed into that wall because the turning on this car, the handling is so goddamn sharp that I couldn't quite control it. And I was saying that I do like the decal of this car quite a lot, so overall I thought it was a good opportunity. And when this car is fully upgraded, it's again in the 1860 rank of cars, which are indeed the best cars in the game. Now, it will still take forever for me to upgrade it. I mean, it's fairly upgraded, not too bad, not great either. Oh shit, here comes the Centenario, let's get out of the way. What? Okay. So the Centenario, that Lamborghini Centenario, it's, I think, remember how I said that the Sienna was probably in the top 5? This is another one of those, top 5, probably top 3. It's, I think in general, the best Lamborghini in the entire game. So you might be wondering, wait a second, if you like Lamborghinis, what was that? The hell? Jesus, oh, whatever, I already had second place, right? You might be thinking, wait, if you like Lamborghini so much and that's the best Lamborghini, why didn't you get that one instead of the Sienna? Because this one, the Centenario, it's way easier to upgrade than the Sienna. I just like the Sienna looks much more than this one. This one is just black, and I'm not a fan of black cars, so yeah. So next up, let's have a look. Not this, it's a really cool bike, but it's impossible to use. Like, the handling is absolutely garbage, so not even worth it. All right, next up is the Koenigsegg Agera RS. All right, let's use a Koenigsegg. If I was, you know, if somebody put me to choose between, what would you prefer, a Koenigsegg or a Bugatti? I think I would go for a Koenigsegg. The Bugattis are dope, but in general, I just don't like them too much. The Koenigsegg shapes, in general, I don't like them too much either, so it's weird, I don't know. I don't think there's a clear favorite, but yeah. Now this race might be a bit of pain, because this is another one of those super long tracks, and this car that I'm using doesn't have great nitro. So remember, if it's a long track that doesn't have a lot of nitro, and your car doesn't have great nitro duration, it's gonna be a problem. Now this is not as bad as the VXR Bailey that I was using in the previous race, so this one can defend itself, definitely. But yeah, the nitro is not fantastic yet. I think for some reason I got matched against people that are not boosted or they're not using amazing cars. So there's a good possibility for me to emerge victorious on this race since it's a one-lapper. That's fine. Let's see if I can maintain it. Usually, like I was saying, the balance on the game, at least in regard to the attributes of the car, tends to be very much like when a car has bad nitro, it has, bad nitro duration, it tends to have really good handling. So like the VXR has insanely good handling but horrible nitro. This one has not great nitro, not terrible, and by the same coin, pretty good handling but not the best. Yeah, pretty enjoyable. So overall, a good car overall. Too bad that it was super difficult to get. Like, really ridiculous. So yes, we're going rapid fire over here with the S tier cars. Let's use the Bugatti Chiron. Again, a lot of these S tier class cars, I got them thanks to the festivals that you get the car for free. And like I said, the trick is upgrading the car. That's where it gets very difficult. Because again, having all of these cars at stock is no good. So that's why it was tricky with the festivals. So the Chiron, it's the type of car that has pretty decent nitro but really bad handling. It's not atrocious, but it's not all that enjoyable. Yet this was the first S-Class car that I really focused more on upgrading. So it performs quite alright. For a long time, this was my best car that I had until I started working in different cars. But yeah, I do have some fun memories with this car, even if it's not going to perform all that great over here. Like I said, the handling of this car, while not atrocious, it's not great either. In general, that's like the general rule with the Bugattis in this game. The speed might be insane, the nitro can be pretty good, but in general terms, the handling is pretty lacking. Oh Jesus. Which in a way, you know, second place is still. Alright, cool. You see what I was saying about sometimes the hitting the walls and messing up your spins? That was one good example. Crap, I forgot what I was gonna say. So yeah, that it kind of makes sense, because the Bugattis in real life, you know, they might be hypercars, but they're stupid heavy hypercars. So I guess in a way it translates quite alright over here with having some pretty shitty handling overall. Again, it's not terrible, but once you have tried other cars with much better handling, that's when you go like, yeah, these cars are special. But that's, again, it's just the balance in the attributes of the cars. Good nitro, bad handling. And again, the nitro on this bad boy is not, it's not like amazing, but it ain't terrible. So same in general, same with the handling. It's not great by any means, but trust me, there's way worse. That bike that I skipped, the Dodge Tomahawk, that has the absolute worst handling in anything in the entire game. It's ridiculous. It's unusable. So that's a situation of don't even bother. Alright, so we're reaching the last parts of my garage. The Rimac C2, that's the electric car that I said that I have, but honestly, I don't really feel like showing it to you because I don't enjoy the electric car, so let's just skip it. Let's go for the Bugatti Divo. I just used the Chiron, now let's use the Divo. And I already run out of my double credit, so let's just apply my nitro starter and just go for the race. So yeah, I've already spent all of my boosters for the double credit, so I guess I accomplished my objective, which was spending in the mall while I still could get some decent amount of credits. So the Bugatti Divo, much like I was talking about in general about Bugattis, they tend to be bad on handling. This one I would think of the 3 Bugattis that are available in the game right now is the one with the worst handling, yet the acceleration of this car is insane. In this car I have it all the way to the maximum upgrades, so literally it's at the 1860 rank. So this is the best cars in the game. So they're a bit tough to drive because again, it's super messy. Everything goes by so quickly, but it's so much fun. Really difficult to control though in general, be this car or just about any car around this rank unless you have a lot of experience. Yet I was able to take the lead right away, so I'll celebrate that, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not a big Bugatti fanboy, but like I said, it seems that GameLove lately do like a lot the Bugattis, so they made this one available in the event, also the Chiron, and actually it said that in an upcoming event they're gonna be also having the Bugatti Level 2 Noir. I have no idea how to pronounce that, it's French. But yeah, so that's gonna be yet another Bugatti that I'll probably get just by virtue of all the cars in the events being kind of free to get. I think there's some situations where when cars are not free, and I'll actually show you one after this car. It was a very special situation, but for the most part, like I said, in the festivals in Asphalt 8 the cars are free, but you really need to upgrade it, and that's where it gets tricky. However, for the next car that I'll show, that was different, and I'll explain why it was different. Remember the Koenigsegg that I was using a bit earlier that I said it was a pain in the ass to get? Yeah, it was in the same event for the other car that I'm going to show, but before we go into that, let's just finish this race with this Bugatti, this bad boy that goes really damn fast. It's heavy, a bit difficult to handle. Oh shoot! No, there goes my lead. Remember what I was saying about handling? Like, I did fuck up. I mean, again, I fucked up a second time, because why not? But yeah, it gets tough. It gets difficult at some point. But hey, that's where the fun lies, in such quick races. Oh, look at that! It was a Lamborghini Sienna, the car that I said that I most definitely want to have fully upgraded someday. So finally, let's have a look. Well, I have my Sienna there, but we're not gonna race with this bad boy because it's just barely upgraded. Like I said, look at the rank. It's so weak at this moment. So instead, let's look at the Koenigsegg Jesko, the absolute best car that I have in the game. Like I was saying, it's a car that was extremely difficult to get, and by that I mean where actual money was required in order to get the car. So I decided to go for that car, even though it was actually going to cost me money, despite me not being very much a player that likes to spend money in this type of games. But I knew that this was one of the best cars, well, really the best car in the entire game. And even though I don't use it a whole lot in multiplayer, because like I said, in general multiplayer around these ranks is so messy, so chaotic and extremely unpredictable. So I mostly use this car for other purposes, for other game modes like the Gauntlet and whatnot. So it was a bit of an investment, because that's what has been allowing me to get the resources to upgrade all the other cars. So yeah, it really was an investment, an expensive one at that, but hey, sometimes you do what you gotta do. But yeah, I'm gonna show you one race with this bad boy in one of the space tracks. Hopefully I'm gonna do a good showing of it. A lot of people don't like these tracks. I do know them fairly alright, so hopefully I can win the race. Hopefully. Oh, that's a Devel 16, that's a Jesko and my Jesko. Alright, this is gonna be tough. But again, I have faith on people not liking this track a lot, and people don't practice it a lot. So maybe that will give me a bit of an edge. But at this rank where everybody has the best cars, it's hard to find people that don't know tracks like the back of the palm of the hand. Like the other Jesko's right behind me. Oh no. Oh, he crashed. In the other map, you could see, in the mini map, you could see that he crashed. Come on, Jesko, we can do it. So like I said, these races are tough. This track is tough because there's a lot of twists and turns, and it's visually very noisy, so sometimes it's hard to tell where you're supposed to go. So if you don't know this map by heart, you can get lost and very easily crash. So like I was saying, it's difficult to find people that don't know these maps around this rank, but even then, if they don't practice them enough, they may know them, but they may not have it, you know, quote unquote mastered. That's not to say that I have it mastered myself, but I did practice this and the Terra 9 tracks quite a bit, so I do have a lot of experience on them, and that really is like my ace in my sleeve in other game modes, because if you know these tracks, you know how to take the turns and all of this, you should be okay. Like that turn that I just took right there, it's really dangerous, because if you don't take it proper, it's super easy to flip your car. And flip it in a bad way, not in the good way that this game has. And right here, this area too can be tricky. Like that, you saw how I just barely brushed against that thing, that containment thing. And this whole section with this loop, also a bit tricky. So yeah, this is definitely a tricky track. I'm glad that I've practiced it enough as to where I feel comfortable with it, and a lot of people don't. So there we go, that's my win with the almighty Jesko, and what a win it was. So, alright, let's see what we were racing against. Yeah, it was my Jesko, another Jesko, the Devel 16, in a Centenario. Alright, so there you have it. That's literally, like I was saying, the very best car that I have in the entire game. But you know what? Just for the lulz, let's have a race with my beautiful Lamborghini Sienna. Incredibly underpowered, and that's gonna show what I was saying about the I'm gonna get matched. This car might be an S-class car, but I'm gonna get matched against C's and B's, and they're gonna defeat me real bad. But let's try it nonetheless. Again, I just like the car, and I do want to upgrade it a lot eventually, but in the meantime I'll just race with it for the fun of it, and just because I like looking at it. So this is only gonna be a one lap, seems appropriate, because you know, it's gonna be a quick defeat. That's a B class, that's an A class, and that's an S class. So I have triple boosted, so that's gonna help me a little bit, but there's absolutely no way where I'm gonna win this race. Unless these dudes are not boosted and they start doing some really dumb stuff. At this point I'm not sure that first place what car it was, but I'll tell you it's not an S tier class. S tier car, Jesus Christ. So again, just proving my point of what I was saying, that if your car isn't very upgraded, it's not gonna do very well, period. Oh shit, and then I missed the pickup. Well, it's fine. Hey, look, if I can keep this second place, I'll be happy. That would be sort of a high to end this series that I really hope that you have been enjoying. I most definitely enjoy sharing with you guys some of my other passions. You know, I like music, I like first-person shooters, but by now you should probably know that I also like a lot racing games. So getting to share some of this with you and, you know, just blabbering about the cars and the things that my thoughts on the game and all, you know, it just feels natural to me. So, alright, that's gonna be it for this series of videos. I'm still gonna be uploading more Asphalt 8 stuff in due time, but I'm really curious to see if people do like these videos. I mean, even if you don't, I'm still gonna record some shit. But if they do, if you do like this stuff, well, that gives me more reason to want to record it. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care and stay safe.